This next match review comes to us from Prometheus, not the hit film from the Alien franchise that served as a prequel, but was ultimately very, very boring and uninteresting. The friend, the homie Prometheus, who was on probation because they just could not get, they just had a hankering for dry kicking, which is one of the biggest mistakes that I see on the match reviews. Kept ignoring the fact that I kept telling them to stop dry kicking things. And now they're off probation because in this match, there is no dry kicking evidently. So good job learning that. Very, very important. You actually really like Prometheus? It's okay to be wrong. We're all wrong sometimes. We all grow as people throughout this weird journey that's called life, so it's okay that you like Prometheus for now. Yeah, homie Prometheus has 800 hours, so getting close to that adept level of DBD where I expect you to know most fundamentals in the game, but not quite there yet. So there might be some mistakes that you see ironed out. Fractured Cowshed, still a Survivor side map, definitely not as egregiously so as it used to be. Fractured used to be a top 5 map in the game, is no longer. Still fairly Survivor sided though. Can still spawn some pretty nasty setups, but spawns a lot of dead zones and stuff as well, so it's a little bit more balanced. Oni, very, very strong character, a character that I put a lot of time into learning and getting better at. So yeah, let's go and see what your add-ons and your build are. Okay, so taking a look at your add-ons, the add-ons are perfect. So with Oni, you basically run one of 3 add-on combos. Well, not 3 add-on combos, but 3 add-on types. You run speed, duration, or extra blood. Any combination of those 3 is a good bet. It's kind of hard to go wrong. Just any combination of those 3 is usually good for you. So you're using speed and extra blood right now. So good job. In terms of your build is honestly, your build's fine. But hey, once again, I told people to stop using 3 slowdowns. So why are you using 3 slowdown on this? Especially on a top 10 killer in the game like Oni. Did you just forget? Or like, I mean, these aren't even like, they're not even, these aren't even like weak slowdown. These are pretty good. Pain res, sloppy is slowdown. Yes, sloppy is slowdown. Sloppy is healing slowdown. It is a slowdown perk. I think I'll overlook it because it's like, hey, you just got off the dry kicking probation, so like, but don't do this again. I didn't know, brother. You have 800 hours in the game. How do you know sloppy is not a slowdown? You have 800 hours in the game and you've watched how many of my streams where we talk about sloppy and like mangled in general as a slowdown status effect, and you've never caught that. Press X to doubt. Press X to doubt. No, you didn't. You knew. Ain't no way. No way you're 800 hours in the game, you already didn't know sloppy was a slowdown. Okay. That was good on her part. She played that perfectly. That wasn't you playing bad. That was just her playing well. She's pretty good at hitting those fastballs on that long wall. She does get hit here though, yeah. It is crunchy, it is. I can think Juker. You'll call out that she would vault there. She didn't really have much of an option there. It was either vault that and die, or like, fake and die. She didn't have an option there really. So I'm glad you didn't fall for anything. I don't really blame you for that, for not being able to stop that gen, because she just looped well. That wasn't necessarily you playing badly. That was just her looping well. You didn't play badly. She just played good. Played well. Oh, the little rats! Run! Run! Ooh, Sprinto Bursto. She's not playing sweaty there by pre-dropping. You're supposed to pre-drop against Oni before he has his power. You play Oni in Spirit the opposite of how you play other killers, where like you take the injury and then you loop the pallet and play a little bit safer like after the fact. Against Oni and Spirit, you do the opposite, where you throw pallet while healthy, or play safer while healthy, and then do the opposite while injured. Wow, that... I think you got robbed there. I would be upset. Alright, you say just screw it and leave, which is fine. You're gonna go break up the heal. Especially with Sloppy, it's good to get value out of your perk. I don't know what you were swinging out there. Why are you tunneling at 4 gens? Wait, why are you tunneling at 4 gens when you have pain res? When there's somebody right in that L wall T wall, which is one of the weakest general tiles to spawn in the game. Why do you... There's no reason to tunnel here. You would get much more value of downing the Saver in your insta-down power and getting another pain res hook this early. Tunneling the Meg, which you've already found to be a good looper, is not good. This is how people end up in those videos where they're like, I looped this Oni for 4 gens because, they, you know, for some reason, people chase the good loopers and don't get value out of their perks, and then they just end up in a bad time. Are we good with this power? What is it? Then you shouldn't be chasing the person that's good at looping. You should be chasing the other person. Like, that airs itself more to what I'm saying, is like, if you're not good at their power yet, keyword yet, then you should not be chasing the person which you have shown, or I've seen to be a good looper. Chasing somebody else. Got it. Then you're about to lose your power too. What were you trying to mind game there? Yeah, that's not a loop. That's just a god palette. You don't mind game god palettes. There is no, like, the only way you mind game a god palette successfully is if the survivor is like literally the dumbest person on the planet. You should definitely not go for that like inherently. Don't try to mind game god palettes. Yeah, she gets away for that. Or are you swinging that? You should be getting that blood. There, you as Oni, you should be in your power as much as possible. That's the name of the game with Oni, is staying in your power as much as possible. The fact that there was a huge pile of blood over there, or pool of blood, sorry. Huge pool of blood over there by that gen, and you just didn't grab it. You're kind of restraining yourself to being 115 man with katana, which is not good. Not good. So I would have grabbed that blood, like 100%. You're not grabbing your blood. I don't know why you're not grabbing your blood. There's so much blood all around you, you're not grabbing it. There you go. I'd go back to that gen and grab that blood too. You gotta get your power. You cannot be 115 man with sword and win a game of Dead by Daylight. This is why I find that Oni is like one of the most like grueling anti-beginner friendly characters in the game. It's because people try to play him like this. Well, they try to play him as a 115 character and think that, okay, well, I'll just get my power whenever it's, you know, convenient. Get your blood. Spoilers, your number one takeaway is to pick up blood. The fact that you leave so much blood on the map and you're just not picking up and spending this entire game as just like 115 M1 killer is why you're losing. I get that you're scared because you're not good with this power yet, keyword yet, but you only get better by actually getting in there and practicing. You're doing yourself no favors by trying to play this game as just a 115 killer. You're not. You're just essentially, you might as well be Myers or Trapper. You might as well be playing one of the bottom 3 characters in the game at this point. That's what you've, like, relegated yourself to. Practice even I miss? Yes, definitely. Because that's how you get better. How else are you going to get better? Than going for it. I would have went for the pain res there. I would have 100% went for the pain res there. Because they're just going to swarm that gen and get it done anyway. Yeah, they're just going to swarm that gen to try and get it done. Yeah, they picked her up. That's why you should have picked her up there. Because you knew multiple survivors were there. So either they were going to greed the gen or try to pick her up. So you should have picked her up and got the pain res use so you could blast that gen and buy yourself some more time. And then entered your power. Pick her up. 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 Use your pain res. You literally brought the best slowdown in the game. Use it. I don't know why you're slugging so hard here. I know you're Oni, but like slugging with Oni is like getting multiple downs while in your power. You're like refusing to hook Dalida for like no reason. You could be getting a pain res hook and like deleting most of this gen. But for some reason you're just leaving her on the ground to get picked up. Get your pain res value. Please get your pain res value. Why are you slugging her so hard? Yeah, now that gen's done. You could, if you had done this like 20 seconds ago, that gen wouldn't be done. If you had done this 20 seconds ago, heck, if you even did it 10 seconds ago, that gen wouldn't be popped right now. That gen would still be being worked on. You let them have that gen by not hooking Dalida and getting your pain res value. By the way, this current patch, for whatever reason, pain res does go through deadlock. So if your gen's deadlocked and you pain res, it does hit it right now. I don't know. They kind of like behavior doesn't really balance that fairly consistently. They kind of just do whatever, but you know, for this current, I don't know why Dalida DC'd. But in this current patch, pain res hits through deadlock. So yeah, this is not a bad combo. Okay, you saw multiple people, and now you're just like... I see what you're doing. You're like, proxy. You are so scared to use your power. You are a top 10 killer in the game, and you were trying to play most of the game as a 115 killer. You saw someone straight ahead of you. You didn't pop your power. You didn't chase them down. You're just going to go stand around and proxy and pray it works out for you. That's... You should just play Myers. Play Trapper. Lily play Pig. Thought it always did through deadlock. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It just kind of depends on like the patch. they just I don't think behavior knows what the philosophy they want to take with like should wrapped gens be hit by slowdown perks. They kind of just it goes back and forth, so yeah. That's inconsistent? Yeah, it's weird. Honestly, like I said, I think behavior just doesn't know what they want to do with it, so they just kind of like, when it breaks, they don't adjust it right. So you go through all the trouble of proxying this hook, and you don't even prevent the hook from happening. Like, what was the game plan here? Like, I could get like, okay, well, you're kind of playing like Diet Bubba, right? Like you have an insta-down power and you're chilling near the hook. That makes sense to me. But you didn't even stay close enough to get to stop the unhook from happening. So like, what was... You just kind of stood around for like a full minute in the game. And match time is gen time. Always be committing to an action, even if it is potentially a bad action. A lack of action entirely is not good. Just standing around is never the answer. Even if you're panicking, even if you're nervous, commit to doing something. Never ever do nothing. You mentioned that at patch a while ago, so maybe they're on the side of like, hey, now it should. This is a bot. Stop mind gaming the bot. You can't mind game a bot. Bots are programmed to just, you know, go to nearest resource, use resource. You're not going to be able to like, do like a little moonwalk or something and get them because Moonwalks are human mind games meant to confuse humans. They're not, the bots don't care. The bots literally ignore that. They don't give a shit. So do not try to mind game the bot. You wouldn't even be running this correctly even if it wasn't a bot. You're supposed to force them counterclockwise on the inside of the T. You were playing the long wall of the T for some reason. So you wouldn't even have been playing this right even if it was a human. You just got entity blocked by a bot. You got entity blocked by a bot. I like the attempt. She's probably peepo hovering for the flashlight save. Or she gave up on it. I guess she gave up on it. I don't think you win this no matter what you do at this point. You've given up on having a blood economy. You don't want to be in your, so you don't even have the ability to be in your power. So you're not doing the thing that makes you top 10 in the game. You should have got that blood way earlier. That blood right there. Good, not being afraid to use your power on an injured survivor. Good, good. Smart. Smart. I see a lot of Onis hesitate. Like, oh, well, they're injured. I don't want to use my power. I'll just chase in 115 mode. It's like, that's not right. Nice. I was so afraid you were going to bonk that hay bale. Okay, she doesn't, yeah. She doesn't have a pain res use, so I would, honestly, with 1 gen left, I'd be hoping to find somebody who, yeah, like her. Perfect example. Oh, she just dramaturgy. Somebody who has a pain res. Bonk him real quick. Take pain res off your build. You're not using it. Pain res is a perk that gets value if you focus the whole team. You don't want to focus the whole team. You drop chase with everybody who isn't somebody you've already hooked. That is something I've noticed you do. And in that regard, pain res is not for you. Pain res is not for you. You'd get much more value out of like corrupt intervention or something than you would pain res. Because if you're not willing to use all 4 hooks, or at least 3 of them at the very least, which is the bare minimum that you should be using, you just should not be using this perk. It is the best slowdown perk in the game, but only if you get value out of it. Only if you get value out of it. You're choosing to not get value out of it. You want to just tunnel down. You wanted to tunnel down Meg. That didn't work. Then you started tunneling down the bot, and that didn't work. But now you're not even going after the last 2 people to get your last pain res stacks at a time that it's really crucial to prevent the last gen from getting done. I would just not use this perk. Either change your playstyle to, you know, make sure that you chase most people in the game, or just take off this perk because it doesn't fit your playstyle. I'd put out like corrupt or something there, or pop. Yeah, exactly what Red just said. We were having the same brain, same thought, same time. I was about to say, somebody is nearby. You heard him. Oh, she's picked up. Hey, you know what's funny? If you had actually followed Thalita there and downed her, she wouldn't have been there for the pickup. But because you let her go for literally 0 reason, she came over and picked up your down survivor. They came back to haunt you. Not picking up your blood again. Please pick up your blood. I think I mean this in a good way, in like a respectful way. It's like, I don't think Oni's your character. You want to chase around as a 115 killer. You're playing Oni like he's an M1 killer. I don't know if this is the character for you. If you want to chase around a lot as the M1 killer and like get a lot of results, there's plenty of better options, like Clown, for example. Clown's a fairly alright M1 killer that you can play. But you can't play Oni this way. Oni is only supposed to be 150 man with katana as a balancing factor for how good his power is. That's the only reason that he has this form where he's just an M1 killer, is because his power is so good that that's his restraint. That is his balancing factor. Ideally, you should be in your power literally as much as possible. And if you're not going to play them that way, you're essentially just playing Diet Myers. In that case, just play Myers. You know, just play a different character. Can't show you combo gameplay because I have good games. I can imagine why, because you play Oni like he's an M1 killer, and if you were actually playing an M1 killer like Clown, a lot of these gameplay decisions make way more sense. Way more sense. Running around as man with katana as Oni is just not a good play. And you shouldn't play the character if you don't want to be in his power and getting better at his power. Hey, Jansen. If you drop chase to cause confusion, try Freddy. Oh yeah, like him teleporting and just taking his teleports and stuff. Yeah. I see what you mean. Only easier with a controller? No. Almost no character is easier with controller. That's just how PC gaming works. Like, mouse and keyboard is almost always better in almost every way, typically. Please get in your power. Please get in your power. That's good to see you, Cartoon. Hopefully you're doing well. John made for this. You could hit that. Yeah. And now your pain rest stacks are useless. Because this is what I'm talking about. Now your pain rest stacks are useless. Your pain rest stacks do nothing in the end game. Because they attack gens. All the gens are done. Now you just have a dead perk slot that had 40% right there for you to use. So now half of your build is dead, and now only have is sloppy and infectious. I do decent controller, that doesn't mean you're better than mouse and keyboard. Took me forever? I'm glad you get your rift done. Now you can relax. Yeah, it doesn't sprite me. Although, if you get your power real quick, you can essentially become Diabubba and kind of guard the hook really aggressively. It's really good. Something you can do with this character. Game Burnout as Survivor? Hey, play the Xenomorph. I can help you every step of the way. Dude, I've been looking at killer guides because I've been wanting to write my own. The killer guides are so in-depth. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. That's a lot of work. It's scary. Especially the clown one. The clown one's just nasty. It is ridiculously in-depth so far, and I'm like, please. I don't know if I want to write that for a killer. Well, I'm very passionate about Xenomorph, and I know a great deal about the character. But, yeah. Back for the XCOM? Yes, me too. Me too. I feel that. The bot just leaves, so the bot doesn't know any better. That shit's funny. Bot doesn't know any better. Yeah, you're essentially Diabubba here. They can't grab this. They can, it's just a death wish. Ooh, almost. You almost had it. Yeah, I would not rush that tile in particular. Unfortunate. If you had gotten her there, you would have got at least a 2K. You just missed that bonk at that really crucial time. Oh, you rubber banded really hard there. I don't really like. I can look at the builds here, but none of this was really the builds, and I think like I forget. I don't think it was your match review. I told this in another person's match review. It's like obviously. Let's go ahead and start with like the obvious thing. So in terms of your main takeaways, your first thing is like the whole point of Oni is to be in power as much as possible. Somebody DC'd during the match, yes. Like you should be in your power as much as possible, Zoni. That is what makes him a top 10 killer, is that his power is really, really good. So the fact that you're running around playing a 115 killer with Katana almost the entire game left a lot of pressure on the table. And you should honestly been playing somebody who, you know, fits that playstyle a little bit better than Oni. The fact that you're leaving so much blood everywhere and not picking it up and not trying to be in your power, you can't do that as Oni. You can't. You will lose very, very, you know, decisively. I think the second thing is, and I brought this up in a different match review, and I don't think it was you, I don't think. But like you were kind of like, you were trying to kind of like, I don't know. You started off with like, I'm gonna tunnel this Meg out of the game, and then she was, you know, she looped too well, so you had to leave her. And then you're like, okay, well the Talita DC'd, so the bot's gonna be easy to chase. So you tried to tunnel the bot, and that didn't work out for you, and the bot ended up, you know, literally entity blocking a window. You know, just obvious thing to say there is don't try to mind game bots, because you know they don't pay attention to human mind games. So you were kind of like tunneling, but not even like you tried to tunnel super early in the game and it kind of didn't pan out for you. And part of that is because, you know, you're running Pain Res, which is a perk that is one of the best, if not the best slowdown in the game, but only if you target the whole team. And you only targeted half the team because you tried to tunnel Meg and it didn't work, and you tried to tunnel Talita and it didn't work, despite the fact that she was a bot. So like you kind of got egg on your face because you were trying to play super mean, and it kind of just didn't actually play out in your favor, which is I would say unfortunate, but honestly makes sense. There's no reason with 3 slowdowns, the top 10 character in the game, that you should be losing like this badly. I don't mean that as a disrespect. I mean, like, you should have been getting all your pain res hooks. You should have been putting people down. And a lot of this was preventable. Yeah, I would work on, like, obviously play more M1 killers if that fits you more. If you want to keep learning Oni, don't know how to use the power, you don't know how to use the power yet. And the only way you use the power is, like, by playing him and being in the power as much as possible. If you're not willing to do that, then there's no point to play the character. If you're just in a situation where you're like, you're nervous, you don't want to, you know, feel your fear of failure and all that, push through that. Pick up all that blood and be in your power as much as possible. That's the only way you're going to improve. That's the only way you're going to improve. That's the only way that's going to work out for you. So don't let that stop you. And obviously, don't use pain res if you're not going to get all the value out of it. So, yeah.